All 37 wild dog species ranked by how powerful they are. What if I told you that the animal you call man's best friend belongs to a family with 37 wild cousins, and most of them would tear a golden retriever apart in under 10 seconds? What if the smallest one weighs less than a bag of sugar, and the biggest one can bring down a moose twice its size? And what if the most dangerous one on this entire list is not the one with the biggest teeth, but the one that never hunts alone? Somewhere between the tiniest fox curled up in a burrow and the apex wolf howling on a ridge at midnight, there is a full power ranking waiting to be settled once and for all. We went through all 37 living species in the dog family, canidae, weighed their size, their bite, and their hunting strategy, and ranked every single one from the weakest to the strongest. Some of the results are going to surprise you because a few of the cute ones are hiding real muscle, and a couple of the scary ones barely make the middle of the pack. Number one is probably not who you think it is, and a couple of the animals in the middle of this list will hunt prey that outweighs them by 10 times or more. Let us start at the very bottom with the dog family's lightweights. Number 37 is the fennec fox. This is the smallest member of the entire dog family, weighing just 2 to 4 pounds, 1 to 1.9 kilograms, which is lighter than a bag of flour. It survives the Sahara Desert, using its enormous ears to dump body heat and to hear beetles moving under the sand at night. It is adorable, it is tough for its size, but in a straight power ranking, it lands dead last. Its bite would barely leave a mark on a human hand, which tells you everything about where it sits on this list. Number 36 is Blandford's fox, found in the mountains and deserts of the Middle East and Central Asia. It weighs 2 to 3.3 pounds, 0.9 to 1.5 kilograms. Its main survival trick is climbing rocky cliffs almost like a cat, using its long tail for balance rather than fighting anything that crosses its path. Number 35 is the island fox, native to California's Channel Islands. It weighs just 3 to 6 pounds, 1.3 to 2.7 kilograms, which makes it one of the smallest canids on Earth. Its size comes from a phenomenon called insular dwarfism, where animals cut off on an island shrink over generations because there is simply less food and fewer big predators to worry about. In the 1990s, its population crashed so badly that it was briefly classified as critically endangered before conservation programs brought it back. Number 34 is Ruppel's fox, a desert specialist from North Africa and the Middle East, weighing 2.4 to 8 pounds, 1.1 to 3.6 kilograms. It looks like the fennec fox's slightly bigger cousin, and it survives the same way, by staying small, staying quiet, and staying out of sight of anything larger. Number 33 is the kit fox, the smallest wild dog in North America, at 3.5 to 6 pounds, 1.6 to 2.7 kilograms. It hunts kangaroo rats and insects across the deserts of the American Southwest and northern Mexico, and it is built for speed and stealth, not for strength. It relies on a network of underground burrows to escape both the heat and anything larger that comes looking for a meal. Number 32 is the swift fox, roughly the size of a house cat, at 4 to 6.5 pounds, 1.8 to 3 kilograms. It once nearly vanished from the American prairies during the early 1900s, wiped out by trapping and poisoning campaigns that were actually aimed at wolves and coyotes, and it only survived thanks to later reintroduction programs. Number 31 is the bat-eared fox. It weighs 6.5 to 12 pounds, 3 to 5.3 kilograms, but here is the twist. Its jaw is one of the weakest in the entire family because this fox does not need to fight anything. It eats termites almost exclusively, and its jaw muscles can open and close up to 5 times a second, built for speed-chewing insects, not for combat with anything bigger. Number 30 is the Corsac fox, from the steppes of Central Asia, weighing 3.5 to 7 pounds, 1.6 to 3.2 kilograms. It survives brutal winters by growing a thick pale coat, then shedding almost all of it once summer arrives, which shows up as a completely different looking animal depending on the season. Number 29 is the Sakuran fox of coastal Peru and Ecuador, the smallest of the South American zorros, weighing 5.7 to 9.7 pounds, 2.6 to 4.4 kilograms. It can survive on a diet that is mostly insects and fruit, which is not exactly the resume of a heavyweight fighter. Number 28 is the hoary fox, found only in Brazil, weighing 5.5 to 8.8 pounds, 2.5 to 4 kilograms. Like the bat-eared fox, it is mostly an insect eater, and its teeth have actually grown smaller and weaker over its evolutionary history, because it simply does not need to bite through tough prey to survive. Number 27 is the pale fox of the Sahel region, just south of the Sahara, weighing 4.4 to 8 pounds, 2 to 3.6 kilograms. It digs burrows to escape the punishing daytime heat, and only comes out at night to hunt small vertebrates and insects. Almost nothing is known about its exact population size, since it lives in some of the most remote, sparsely studied terrain in Africa. Number 26 is the Bengal fox from the Indian subcontinent, weighing 5 to 9 pounds, 2.3 to 4.1 kilograms. It lives in dry grasslands in large underground family dens, and while it is agile and quick on its feet, it is not built to take on anything much bigger than a rodent or a lizard. Number 25 is Darwin's fox, discovered by Charles Darwin himself, and found today only in a handful of forest patches in Chile. It weighs up to 8.8 pounds, 4 kilograms, and is critically endangered, mostly because domestic dogs attack it directly and spread disease into its small, isolated population. Number 24 is the South American grey fox, also called the chiller, weighing 5.5 to 10 pounds, 2.5 to 4.5 kilograms. It is the most common of the South American zorros, found from the grasslands of Argentina all the way to the deserts of Chile, and it is still hunted today for its thick, pale coat. Some researchers actually consider it the same species as the pampas fox, since the two overlap heavily in range and appearance. Number 23 is the Cape fox, the only true fox species found in Africa, weighing 8 to 11 pounds, 3.6 to 5 kilograms. It hunts alone at night across the semi-desert scrub of southern Africa, going after rodents, insects, and the occasional ground-nesting bird. Number 22 is the Arctic fox, weighing up to 20.7 pounds, 9.4 kilograms, in its heaviest winter coat. It does not rank high for size or bite force, but it earns real respect for pure toughness, since it is the only member of the dog family with fur growing on the bottom of its paws, and it can survive temperatures that would kill almost anything else on this list within an hour or two. Its coat even changes color with the seasons, turning brilliant white for winter camouflage and a mottled brown for summer. Number 21 is the Tibetan sand fox, living on the high, treeless plateau of Tibet, weighing 9 to 12 pounds, 4 to 5.5 kilograms. Its main prey is the plateau pika, a small mammal it hunts through patient, low-energy stalking rather than raw speed or power. Number 20 is the grey fox, one of only 2 canids on the entire planet that can climb trees, right along with its distant cousin, the raccoon dog. It weighs 8 to 15 pounds, 3.6 to 7 kilograms. What it lacks in size, it makes up for with curved cat-like claws that let it escape straight up into the branches whenever something bigger shows up. It is found from southern Canada all the way down to northern South America, and it is the most common fox species across much of the American West. Number 19 is the pampas fox of the South American grasslands, weighing 9 to 18 pounds, 4 to 8 kilograms. It has a wider diet than most foxes on this list, taking small mammals, birds, insects, and even carrion when it can find it, which makes it a bit more adaptable under pressure than its smaller cousins. Number 18 is the crab-eating fox, weighing 10 to 17 pounds, 4.5 to 7.7 kilograms. Despite the name, it eats far more than crabs, including fruit, insects, and small vertebrates across the wetlands and savannas of South America, and it has even been kept as a pet by some indigenous communities. Number 17 is the bush dog, and this is where the list starts getting interesting, because size stops being the whole story. It weighs only 11 to 18 pounds, 5 to 8 kilograms, yet it hunts in packs that can take down a peccary or even a capybara many times its own weight. Partially webbed toes let it swim after prey through flooded rainforest, and pound for pound it punches far above its weight class. With its long body, short legs and stubby tail, it almost looks more like a badger than a dog, which makes its hunting ability even more surprising. Number 16 is the African golden wolf, weighing 15 to 33 pounds, 7 to 15 kilograms. It was only confirmed as its own separate species within the last decade, after genetic testing showed it was actually distinct from the golden jackal it had long been confused with. It survives across deserts in North Africa with very little standing water, which says a lot about its raw endurance. Number 15 is the red fox, and here is a fact that surprises a lot of people. It is the most widely distributed land mammal on the entire planet, beating out even the brown rat and the house mouse. It weighs 6.5 to 31 pounds, 3 to 14 kilograms, depending on the region, making it the largest of all the true foxes. Its power is not raw strength, it is adaptability. It thrives in cities, farms, forests, and frozen tundra alike, which is a survival trick most of the animals above it on this list cannot pull off. Number 14 is the short-eared dog, a rare and rarely seen predator of the Amazon rainforest, weighing around 20 to 22 pounds, 9 to 10 kilograms. It has slightly webbed feet and may hunt near rivers and flooded forest, but almost nothing has ever been formally documented about its hunting behavior, simply because it is so hard for scientists to find in the wild. Number 13 is the raccoon dog, weighing 9 to 22 pounds, 4 to 10 kilograms, though it can nearly double that weight right before winter in order to survive the cold months ahead. Like the grey fox, it can climb trees, and it is one of the very few canids that goes through something close to hibernation during the coldest part of the year. Number 12 is the black-backed jackal, weighing 13 to 30 pounds, 6 to 13.5 kilograms. It is fast, unusually aggressive for its size, and known to follow lions and hyenas around a kill site just to steal scraps, which takes a real amount of nerve given the company it keeps. Number 11 is the side-striped jackal, weighing 15 to 30 pounds, 7 to 13.5 kilograms. It is the least carnivorous of all the jackals, with fruit making up as much as 30% of its diet during certain times of year, but it still holds its own across the woodlands of sub-Saharan Africa, alongside bigger, hungrier neighbors. Number 10 is the golden jackal, weighing 15 to 33 pounds, 7 to 15 kilograms. Its range stretches from Eastern Europe through the Middle East and all the way across Asia to Vietnam, and it is a true generalist that will hunt fresh or scavenge a carcass, whichever gets the job done that day. Its population is actually growing across parts of Europe, expanding into regions where it had not been seen for centuries. Number 9 is the culpeo, the second largest wild dog in South America after the maned wolf, weighing 11 to 30 pounds, 5 to 13.5 kilograms. It ranges from southern Colombia all the way down to southern Chile, and it is comfortable taking prey as large as young livestock, a habit that has made it deeply unpopular with local ranchers, even though rodents and rabbits make up most of its actual diet. Number 8 is the Ethiopian wolf, weighing around 35 pounds, 16 kilograms on average. It is the most endangered wild dog on the entire planet, with fewer than 200 mature adults left, all confined to a handful of mountain ranges in Ethiopia. Its power lies not in size but in specialization, since it hunts rodents in broad daylight at altitudes most predators cannot even function at, some of its territory sitting above 13,000 feet, 4,000 meters. Number 7 is the dingo, Australia's apex land predator, weighing 26 to 44 pounds, 12 to 20 kilograms. With no larger native land predator to compete against on that entire continent, the dingo sits right at the top of Australia's food chain, taking down kangaroos, wallabies, and livestock without much competition to worry about. Its ancestry is still debated among scientists, since it descends from domestic dogs brought to the continent thousands of years ago and has since gone fully wild. Number 6 is the maned wolf, and this one breaks the pattern completely. It is the tallest wild dog on Earth, standing about 3 feet, 90 centimeters at the shoulder on legs that look like they were borrowed from a deer, yet it weighs only about 51 pounds, 23 kilograms. Those long legs are not built for fighting. They exist so the animal can see over tall grass across the South American savanna. Most of its diet is actually fruit and small rodents, so it earns its ranking here for sheer physical presence rather than for its bite. Number 5 is the coyote, weighing 20 to 50 pounds, 9 to 23 kilograms. It has expanded its range across almost all of North America since European settlers arrived and wiped out most of the wolves that used to compete with it, even moving into major cities today, and it will hunt alone in pairs or occasionally interbreed with wolves to produce hybrids known as coy wolves. It is one of the most adaptable predators on this entire list, comfortable raising pups in a forest, a farm field, or a suburban backyard. Number 4 is the red wolf, weighing 45 to 80 pounds, 20 to 36 kilograms, sitting in size right between a coyote and a full-grown grey wolf. It was declared extinct in the wild back in the 1980s and only exists today because of a captive breeding program, with just 20 to 30 individuals currently living free in the wild in North Carolina. Its spot on this list is a reminder that raw strength alone does not guarantee a species' survival, since habitat loss and interbreeding with coyotes nearly wiped it off the map entirely. Number 3 is the African wild dog, weighing up to 66 pounds, 30 kilograms. This is arguably the single most efficient hunter on the entire list. Hunting in coordinated packs across the African savanna, it succeeds on close to 80% of its hunts, a number that makes lions, sitting at around 25%, look almost lazy by comparison. Its patterned blotchy coat gives it the nickname African painted dog, and a hungry pack can strip an antelope carcass clean in about 15 minutes flat. Number 2 is the dhole, also called the Asian wild dog, weighing up to 88 pounds, 40 kilograms. Individually, it is not as big as a grey wolf, but that barely matters, because dholes hunt in packs of around 12 animals, sometimes gathering into much larger groups of 30 or 40. In parts of Asia, a large enough pack of dholes has been documented driving off, and in some cases even killing, a full-grown tiger. Let that sink in for a second. A coordinated group of wild dogs taking on the single most powerful cat on the planet and coming out on top. And number 1 is the grey wolf. It is the largest wild dog species alive today, with a big individual able to weigh up to 120 pounds, 54 kilograms, and stand nearly 3 feet, 85 centimeters at the shoulder, with some recorded individuals even larger than that. It has the strongest bite force of any living canid, strong enough to crack open the leg bones of a moose to reach the marrow hidden inside. It hunts in coordinated family packs, brings down prey many times its own body weight, including moose and bison, and once ranged across more of the planet's land surface than any other wild mammal except us. Wolves communicate across miles of open wilderness with a howl that has shaped mythology and folklore in nearly every culture that has ever shared land with them. Pound for pound and pack for pack, this is the single most powerful member of the entire dog family on Earth. So there they are, all 37 species of wild dog, weighed, measured and ranked, from the fennec fox curled up in a warm desert burrow, all the way to the grey wolf howling across a frozen ridge at midnight. What this whole list really shows is that power in nature rarely means just one single thing. Sometimes it is raw size, like the wolf. Sometimes it is teamwork, like the dhole and the African wild dog, two species that turned simple cooperation into a weapon sharper than any individual set of teeth. And sometimes, power is just the sheer will to survive somewhere that should be nearly impossible to survive, like a fox living out in a scorching desert or a frozen tundra with almost nothing to eat. Every single species on this list, from the smallest to the largest, has found its own way to stay alive on a planet that gives absolutely nothing away for free. Maybe that, in the end, is the real definition of power.